This is a fully electric van, more specifically the Iveco eDaily, and it actually holds a Guinness World Record, the heaviest weight towed by an electric van, sitting at a whopping 153.58 tons. Now, the vehicle itself also does come with an 8-year warranty, and this also does include 155,000 miles, or roughly 250,000 kilometers. So in this little video, I'll be giving you a little breakdown of the vehicle and my first driving impressions. So I'm now sat in the eDaily, and the first thing to note is how it is to actually drive. And given it is a fully electric van, it's actually really quiet and very easy to maneuver. Specifically, if you enable the city mode, which is a button found towards the dashboard, which really does loosen up the steering wheel, therefore making it extremely easy to maneuver, even for someone like myself who hasn't really driven vans all that often. Now, when it comes to actually driving it around and pottering around, it actually does soak up a lot of the potholes, the anomalies, and the speed bumps. And this makes it very comfortable, let alone if you go for one of the additional options, which allows the seat to actually move around when you're driving, like you'd find on the trucks. Indeed, that is what Iveco is kind of known for, and therefore means that it's actually come down to the vans as well. Now, of course, you will be quick to question, what is its electric range? Now, this is actually quite intriguing because it's available in 3 different battery packs, and by that I mean you've got a battery pack 1, 2 and 3, and the more battery packs you add, the less payload you can actually take, but of course more range you'll be able to get from it. Now, with its 3 battery packs, you have got a claimed range of 248 miles. That is on the WLTP urban cycle, so not the mixed driving cycle as a lot of other manufacturers might quote. Now, of course, this really much depends as to what you're taking with you, where you're going, and how you're actually driving. And therefore means that that sort of figure should be taken with a pinch of salt. It really depends as to what you're going to be looking for. So in this respect, Iveco actually suspects that most people are going to go for the 2 battery pack configuration because it gives them a good sort of blend between amount of range that they can get and also the amount of payload that they can actually take in the van. Now, of course, I'd be curious to know what you would choose if you're going for the Iveco, or if you, of course, already ordered it, which sort of battery pack configuration you've gone for. Now, in order to recoup energy, it's actually really smart. You have got a degree of regenerative braking, and that can be very easily enabled by just shifting on the left side on the gear selector. And if you go down, it actually enables a sort of 1-pedal drive. Now, the 1-pedal drive doesn't allow you to come to a complete standstill, however, will give you pretty much a harsh degree of regenerative braking, allowing it to make it a little bit more comfortable when you're going around those city commutes. Of course, if you do not want this, or you're driving on the motorway, then you can disable it and therefore kind of coast like you'd find on an ICE-based engine. Now, past that, there is of course the ability to plug it in. There is a CCS port that is found at the front of the vehicle underneath the charging flap, and that allows you up to 80 kilowatts of input, therefore meaning that you can reclaim roughly 60 miles of range in around half an hour, making it quite ideal if you're coming to a small little break, and of course if you're on a job, then it allows you to recoup energy quite quickly. You have of course got its Type 2 port, and that has actually got an 11 kilowatt onboard charger as well, and that is fitted as standard. Therefore, it will take you quite a number of hours to replenish its battery from 0 to 100%, but you can actually upgrade it to a 22 kilowatt onboard charger. For example, if you have got a certain area where you can plug it in and get a faster AC rapid charging, then you'll be able to actually attain that. So therefore making it quite useful for what its name suggests, a sort of daily van. Now, I thought I should specify that the battery pack modules that I referenced before have got each a capacity of 37 kilowatt hour. Therefore, you've got 37, 74 and 111 kilowatt hour battery packs. Now, this of course affects the overall performance. As combined with the chosen battery pack setup, the singular motor that's planted on the rear axle dispatches up to 100 kilowatts of power in the 37 kilowatt hour model, while in the 74 and 111 kilowatt hour models, the eDaily offers up to 140 kilowatts of power and 400 newton meters of torque. As for top speed, it's limited to 75 miles an hour. Now, while that's all very impressive for a van that operates on a rear-wheel drive configuration only, The manufacturer also claims a guaranteed uphill start from a gradient of up to 30%. And I actually got to try this out on a test track. While driving the 2 battery pack model, as a reminder 74 kilowatt hour with an empty load, the eDaily easily pulled away from a standstill on a road that had a 35% incline, which is absolutely incredible. Now it's worth pointing out that if you do want to attain the max power and ascend steep hills of this nature, you'll need to be in the HI power or high power mode. This is easily done by switching to the appropriate mode while driving the van. Now with all that out of the way, I should actually touch upon practicality. And here the eDaily is available as a van, cab, crew cab, chassis cowl and even as a minibus. From something that has 3.5 tons of gross vehicle weight all the way up to 9.6 GVW. This means that there is endless configurations that one can choose, as I did mention in the intro. This is thanks to its truck-based ladder chassis. Indeed, depending on the chosen model, you can have up to 19.6 meter cube of load space, up to 4.6 tons of capacity, 3.5 tons of towing capabilities, and even provide power of up to 15 kilowatts to other equipment. Class-leading figures for an electric van. Note the model on test had a 3,520mm wheelbase with an H2 roof load space of 10.8 meters cube. Now to round off, the van is also loaded with modern tech. There's an intuitive and easy to use infotainment system which supports the likes of Apple CarPlay as standard, and being a modern van, it also has preconditioning capabilities, app and software which are useful for route planning, and there's even Amazon Alexa built in for voice commands. And yes, unlike some, Iveco has even included a reversing camera as standard, making it easy to back into a space. So there we have it. Hopefully you've enjoyed my video on the Iveco eDaily. Now personally I think the manufacturer has done a great job in terms of giving you a good driving range with also that's something very practical and comfortable. Now I'd be curious to know what you make of it down in the comment section below, and of course if you would pick it over some of its rivals. Now it goes without saying, if you have enjoyed this video, definitely do consider dropping a like, subscribing and hitting that bell notification, all of which would be greatly appreciated. As such, I've been Chris from TotallyEV and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves and goodbye.